2016 Washington State Lacrosse Division I Championship between Eastside Catholic Crusaders and the Bellevue High School Wolverines. We're about to face off. Okay. Eastside Catholic comes into this game with a record of 14-2. They are the #1 seed in the Metro Conference, having knocked off Mercer Island and Issaquah to get to the finals. The Bellevue Wolverines are 17-3 and the #1 seed in the Kingco Conference. They rolled through the playoffs and find themselves now facing a foe that's very familiar to them. This is a rematch of the 2012 championship game. Bellevue won, and only the second time that Eastside Catholic has made it to the finals, having been eliminated the past 2 years by the Wolverines as well. Player introductions are done. We now have the officials' instructions. We are shortly to get underway. Tonight's officials are Keith McPhee, Jim O'Brien, Avery Harkins, and Aaron Karansky. Those guys have worked hard to get this game, and we expect a fine contest. Starting in goal tonight for the Crusaders, #5, Josh Matt, senior netminder who's got a storied career here at Eastside Catholic. And in goal for the Wolverines, #11, Cabe Edelhertz, a sophomore netminder. Bellevue's played goalie by committee for much of the season. Edelhertz has emerged and has had a great postseason run here. We're facing off tonight Andrew Cho for the Wolverines, #9 against #12, Joey Matt for the Crusaders. And Matt's up with the ball for the opening face-off to get this championship game started. #23, Ryan Grascove starts off with the ball and leads the attack for the Crusaders. Down low we have Bryce Atwater, #31 as well, the All-American. He's also guarded by an All-American, #25, Michael Medzigian, the star defender for the Wolverines. And we have our opening goal. So Bryce Atwater underneath finds a cutting Crusader, waiting for the number. It's senior Chase Boltez, and the Crusaders jump out to the first goal as they lead the Wolverines 1-0, less than a minute into the game. Cho and Matt again on the face-off. Andrew Cho, the senior, the all-conference face-off guy for Kingco. Procedure call against the Crusaders. Gives the ball to the Wolverines. We'll see them for the first time on offense. #6 at midfield, sophomore Joe Albrecht. #5, Augie Fratt on the far sideline. As we go right to left here, #4 is Matt Marino for midfield for the Wolverines. Defensively, the poles underneath are Victor Guevara for the Crusaders, Parker Davidson, and Nick Morgan. We'll set the rest of the lineups as we can. Pass goes awry, scooped up by Joe Albrecht, again on the far side. Augie Fratt, #5. Feeds inside. Parker Davidson, the pole up the far sideline. And we have our first flag on the play. Lots of enthusiasm. Bellevue will go man down. On the tripping call. That'll be a 1-minute penalty, putting the Crusaders man up for 1 minute, and it gets our first look at the man up offense for the Crusaders. Jack Sirku starts the emo offense for the Crusaders. They'll take their time and work it around, trying to find a hole in the Wolverine man down defense. An early test for the Wolverines here. Good ball movement. Chase Overton on the defensive block for the Wolverines, and comes up with a loose ball on the far sideline. Runs across the restraining line. Finds senior attackman Joe Bethke behind the cage, who's out top to Paul Johnson, guarded by Nick Morgan. Trail check by Morgan, scoops up the ground ball. Over to Parker Davidson, who runs it up the near sideline again. All the momentum early goes to the Crusaders. Senior James Way behind the cage, guarded by Michael Moran, the long pole for the Wolverines, as the ball comes out to the top of the box. Sirku on the dodge. Can't get through the Wolverine defense, dumps it behind the cage. Atwater's got it up top, and he finds a quick shot inside, but a save by Edelhurst. As Bellevue clears the ball. On the far sideline behind to Bethke. Josh Matt sets his defense in goal. One of the keys for the Crusaders today is to spread that Wolverine offense and watch the backside there. The Wolverines love to cut with their more athletic players off the ball. Jackson Fredman finds their bounce shot in close. Matt with the save though. Crusaders come on the fast break across midfield. Joey Matt and the no-look pass, but Edelhurst with the save, deflected out of bounds, and the ball remains here with the Crusaders. For those of you new to lacrosse, on a shot, when it goes out of bounds, the player closest to the ball, when it crosses the inline or the sideline, retains possession for his team. In that case, the Crusaders won the chase for the ball and then just threw the ball away. And it'll go over to Bellevue. Michael Medzigian brings the ball in.
Boy, help him out with that name.
Jackson Fredman receives the long clear. And the Wolverines settle down in their offense. Near side, guarded by number 8 Casey Kruger, the senior, all-conference man. Matt Marino on the alley dodge, gets his hands free and rings the top left-hand corner for the equalizer. Not a lot that you can do in the cage there. Crusaders will work hard to make sure Marino does not get that shot again. Matt Marino is committed recently to play for the University of Denver. last year's national championship in NCAA Division I. He'll go down and join a very talented squad under Coach Bill Tierney there. The Cho and Matt face-off battle continues out at the X. Ball comes loose and Cho comes up with it. Cho's a senior midfielder, face-off specialist, will be playing next year in Pennsylvania at Swarthmore, a fine Division III lacrosse school and very fine academic institution as well. Bellevue works the ball around. The Crusaders have put a long pole on Augie Fratt to start things out. A fine save again by Josh Matt. It won't be the last time I say that. Bellevue's aggressive on the hard ride, but the ball clears over here to the near sideline where Davidson gets it again. It's clear they're going to rely heavy on the large senior defensive pole to clear that ball rather than risk the risky pass. Davidson brings the body to get that ball across midfield and not have it taken away from him by the Bellevue attackmen who are riding him. James Way out top, guarded by Jack Albrecht, beats him there. A big pass inside. Feeds the ball back around underneath with Atwater there, guarded there by Madzigi, and Atwater's shot is high. No Crusaders there to back it up, so the ball goes over to the Wolverines. It's a fast-paced game right away. Michael Morand brings the ball down for the Wolverines. Bethke sets the offense up top to Augie Fratt. And we're down around 4 minutes left in the first quarter. A fast-paced game so far, just the one penalty, not much stoppage. They've got Davidson guarding Bethke now, who shovels it in towards the crease. Not much of a shot there. Johnson, however, picks up the loose ball, guarded by Morgan. He beats him. He's got a free run to the crease. Let's see who he can find. Morgan recovers nicely. Fratt again draws the pole. Doesn't seem to bother him as he bounces one low underneath Matt's outstretched stick. And the Wolverines go up 2-1. Procedure call. Looked like Joey Matt might have jumped a little early there. Hard to tell from here, but regardless, the ball goes over to the Wolverines as we wind down to 3 minutes. Marino down the left alley, but he finds Johnson underneath, who takes a nice bit of defense from Parker Davidson to thwart any ideas he had about going towards the cage.
Be smart, be smart.
Jackson Fredman on the alley dodge. Mr. Matt says no, you will not score with that shot, and the ball bounces away to the Crusaders. They work it back towards their own goal to clear the ball, again giving it to Davidson on the near sideline, who I suspect is just going to bull his way through. Got a loose ball push called. Late whistle there. Loose ball push gives the ball to the Crusaders. Atwater guarded. And what we're seeing is the All-American on an All-American matchup. Michael Medzigan gets the better of that one, with Moran helping on the double team. Edelhertz finds Moran on the quick clear up to Matt Marino, who's going to put the speed on. Eastside Catholic just begging him to go to his left hand, which he's not doing. The ball is loose. And trail checked from behind. Ball goes over to the Wolverines on the turnover. Doesn't count as a shot. Frat back there. Lollygagging a bit to get the ball up. Hurdles a man. Brian Grasco gave him a hard chase. Frat with the lefty, but gets his own rebound after the save. Ball's loose. We have a crease violation, but a loose ball push negates the crease violation. The ruling on the field is that he was pushed into the crease. Normally that crease is hallowed ground, only allowed to be stepped in by the defensive team. In that case, the ruling was that Frat got pushed into the crease. So the ball goes back to the Wolverines. Matt Marino has it and sails a little wide. There's a lot chase here. And the Crusaders win the hustle to the near sideline on that shot. Hard to see the number. Looks like Victor Guevara on the chase. A good bit of hustle there. Double team there. Quick goal. Ryan Grasco on the feed. I think Bryce Atwater with the goal down on the crease. Bellevue overcommitted on the right on the sideline, found two guys down, and left them a man short on the defense underneath, allowing that fast break goal with the equalizer. We're inside a minute to go in the first quarter. One of the nuances of this championship game is that when the clock goes inside a minute, this time is kept on the field. So we will not be able to tell you exactly how much time is left, but we are inside a minute. And the action's sure to be hot and heavy. Again, Josh Mack goes early. I'm sure he's a little intimidated with the reputation that Andrew Cho brings into the face-off. Bellevue uses this opportunity to take their timeout. And with the score knotted at 2 inside a minute in the first quarter, timeout on the field. As we wind down on the timeout, Eastside Catholic comes out on the field. I'm sure they're going to try and keep Bellevue from getting a shot off at all. A tall order given the athleticism of the Wolverines. But the Crusader defense has really stepped up this season. Semifinals, they held Issaquah, a fine offense, to 6 goals, which is a good day's work no matter who you're playing, but especially against a semifinal team of the quality of Issaquah. defense will plan to step it up and shut down the Wolverines here as well. Bellevue comes out with their first line. Marino, Fredman on midfield. Cameron McMahon, Paul Johnson, and Joe Bethke are the attackmen down there. Looks like Eastside Catholic's going to sit in a little zone here. Pack it in. Challenging the Wolverines to find a way to get to the cage. Cameron McMahon took a nice feed from Marino, had a good shot at it, but Josh Matt's just not going to fall for that. You're going to have to find a more clever way to beat him, a little less predictable. Matt with the clear here. Marino gets a hard ride on the ball and goes back to the Wolverines. Bellevue back with another opportunity, but the clock expires. With the score knotted at 2. It's everything we hoped it would be, folks. Lots of hard play, fast play, and a good close game.
Ashkan Jabari, I coach across Bellevue High School as well as football. We've had Seattle Sports Video with us for about 2 years now, and it's one of the best choices we made. High quality video, the game tape goes up the same night within a matter of an hour or two. It's all over the place. We need an adjustment to the film, gets done right away. Best decision we made.
John Bauman, head coach, Bellevue High School. Been a head coach for about 10 years now. We're extremely happy with you guys. Great film, gets up on our site real quick. Everything's great. You're the man.
Hi, my name's Steve DiPietro, and I represented the Blanchette Braves this past year and the year before, working with Marcio to film all of the varsity girls basketball games. My experience with him was fabulous. He was reliable, he communicates well, he's a great guy, he understands the games and what you're trying to accomplish and capturing not only the moment but the experience for the kids.
I'm so happy to have found you. I've worked with other people on videos before, but the way that you are able to figure out, and I don't think I articulate what I want very well, to figure out exactly what I'm looking for, and where I don't know what I'm looking for, help me figure out what I'm looking for, has been great.
Sports Videos. Marcio Castro on the camera. My name's Patrick Boyd, and we're here to bring you the rest of our game. Hopefully it's as exciting and as close as that first quarter was. 4 goals scored. I think it pretty much went to form. No one did anything too outrageous, too unexpected. We did see a little Eastside Catholic zone there, but I'm sure the Wolverines had scouted them enough to expect that. Personnel looks the same to start the second quarter. Andrew Cho, Joey Matt out on the face-off. Matt on the quick scoop. Gets the ball, runs it in across the restraining line. Little confusion as to which way we're going maybe, but we're all set now. Crusaders swap out some personnel. You'll see that commonly in lacrosse, especially at the midfield. Senior James Way gets brought in, and he's killing time as they make one more substitution to get the matchups that they want. He's guarded by sophomore Joe Albrecht. Atwater's now up top. Boltez passes to Way, who's on the quick dodge up high, guarded again by Albrecht. Gives him a little shove to push him off his stride. Double team there. Quickly got the ball back to Boltez though. Grasco comes out from X, trying to find a place to shoot. Edelhurst seems to have the communication going well with his offense. Long, low shot. Underhand by Wei Hay, gobbled up quite easily by Edelhurst. Edelhurst finds Augie Fratt, who leaves his man, goes underneath. Cameron McMahon with a shot down to the 5-hole, but Josh Matt has that covered. Quick clear after the save, although harassed on the far sideline by the Bellevue Ride, forces a dangerous long pass over here to Joe Matt. Guarded by Joe Albrecht, both of them younger brothers, by seniors. Chase over to number 15 for the Wolverines, knocks down the errant pass, scoops up the ball and starts the fast break. Bellevue wisely slows it down as they didn't have numbers. Bellevue also now gets the numbers they want on the board. There's just not much you can do against that. All-American Augie Fratt with a 12-yard left-handed shot off a dodge, finds the upper corner, and the Wolverines jump back to a 1-goal lead. Push going to be called, giving the face-off win to the Wolverines. Joe Befty guarded by Davidson back behind. That's a matchup we've been seeing all day. Befty's the catalyst, the feeder of this Wolverine offense, and a lot of it goes through him. So if they can keep him rattled with a long pole, especially a big body like Davidson. Again, a great save by Josh Matt. Bethke had stolen the errant pass, or the deflection off of Davidson. Looked like he was going to jump it in for an easy basket. Josh Matt loves to go low. Perhaps through scouting where those Wolverines like to dump those close shots. We've seen several from the crease go low, and Matt has gobbled them up. Not one hint of one of those shots going in. The Wolverines are going to have to find another way to get it in the cage. Once again, you see the pace slow down as the Crusaders get their personnel on the field that they want. James Way with the shot, and the Wolverines are the closest to the ball. They'll have possession. Senior Mike McZegian brings the ball in. Cade Edelhurst finds a Wolverine across midfield. That's Joe Albrecht. Some of the emotional, frenetic pace of the game has lost now as the team settle down. You can see there, Weihei picked up the loose ball, and as he was clearing, got pushed by Joe Bethke. That's called a push with possession. That's a 30-second penalty, so Bellevue will go man down for 30 seconds. Their second time being man down. The Crusaders didn't capitalize on it the first time. Let's see what they've learned. See what weaknesses they can find in that man-up defense, man-down defense for the Wolverines. Senior Atwater feeds here with an open shot. And Eric Prologo. Eric Prologo bounces one on a low to high bounce. Shot goes low but bounces and comes in just under the top bar over Adel Hertz's stick with the equalizer. So there's our first man-up goal. Back to the battle at the face-off. Cho and Matt. Cho comes out with the ball and up with the face-off win. Nick Morgan on the defense on the far side. Crusaders going left to right on your screen. Morgan on the far side, Victor Guevara, the pole here, number 43 on the near side. Behind the cage is Parker Davidson again. Rattle and Bethke. Shot hits Matt in the helmet. Doesn't know where it goes, but it ends up behind the cage. That's all that's important. It didn't go in the cage. Wolverines pick up the loose ball, however, and will take another shot at it. Augie Fratt with Jackson Fredman now with the ball. Hard defense by Morgan thwarts his attempt. Matt Marino, first goal of the game, looking for a second one with his left hand. And Marino finds Augie Fratt, who slipped past a defender. However, a trail check lifted his stick. A little bit back and forth with the refs, but the decision is to give the ball to the Crusaders. Looks like they were there. That looks like the right call to me. Chase Boltez with his second goal of the night. Got his hands free and ripped one from the far side alley. Brennan Cronk is out to face off for the Crusaders. Picks it up against Cho. Crusaders up with the ball. Winding down on 5 minutes to go in this first half. You see Mike Moran on the far side defense. Crusaders happy to take their time. Jackson Crew with the ball here. And slips his defender. Finds some high cheese with that left hand. Pings the upper right-hand corner for the game's first 2-goal lead. Crusaders 5 and Wolverines 3. Wolverines midfield beaten on that play. I'm sure they'd like to have that dodge back. Brennan Cronk out there for his second face-off. And he moved early, giving the ball to the Wolverines. Albert guarded by Cronk there on the far side. Waist up top for Bethke to come in. Bethke switching now to midfield, give it a different look. Augie Fratt trying to get his hands free. And that's what happens when you let Augie Fratt get his hands free. Matt had the ball tracked, but just a millisecond too late as it sneaks in behind his stick to pull the Wolverines within 1. 4 minutes to go. Defense has been the hallmark of the playoff runs for both these teams. We're certainly not seeing as much of that in the second quarter as we did in the first. For the face-offs for the Crusaders. Cho so far has taken one for the Wolverines. He'll certainly carry the heavy load most of the time, although they have alternatives as well. Cho comes up with that one. He's been pretty dominant. Unofficial stats have him 8 of the 11 face-offs that we've had so far. But as we know, face-off wins don't correlate necessarily to victories. As we can see here, winning the face-off didn't even allow for a shot on cage. And defense for the Crusaders tripped up the Wolverines and gave the ball to Matt in the crease. Guevara with a nice little dipsy-doodle move. Coach Goodman calls a timeout. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the second half.
With 3:10 left in the half, Crusaders call timeout.
And we're back here during the timeout. There's a lot of good talent on the field here tonight, as you can expect in a championship game. I mentioned earlier that it features 4 All-Americans. 3 for the Wolverines, 1 for the Crusaders. Also, we've got the cream of the crop of college commits. Players that are committed to going ahead and playing in the NCAAs. On Eastside Catholic's Crusader team, senior James Way is playing for Division III Roanoke College. Goalie Josh Matt will play for Bill Turney's Denver University. On the Wolverine side, senior Joe Bethke, attackman, played for Division I Mount St. Mary. Augie Fratt junior Augie Frat will eventually go to Boston University's Division I program. Matt Marino as well has more eligibility in high school, but he will play and join Josh Matt at Denver. Andrew Cho, face-off man's going to Swarthmore, Division III powerhouse. And as strong as the Wolverine offense is, they are missing one of their key midfielders this year. Justin Angelo, number 17, has been out all year with a torn ACL. He will play his college ball at Lehigh University in Pennsylvania. We wish him a speedy recovery. Been an inspiration to all his kids as I talked with the coaches and some of the players. They mentioned Justin by name. He's been to every practice, every game. He traveled with them on their spring break trip, even though he can't play, and the kids look up to all that support and they get from one of their better players who is a team leader. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. The Crusaders work around trying to find a seam here. Working a backdoor pick behind the cage. The two Bellevue poles. Moran and Medzigian thwart the efforts. That might be an example there why Medzigian is an All-American as he snatches that cross-field pass out of mid-air. Cade Edelhertz with a long forward. And now the Wolverines will wait and change their personnel from offensive to defensive. Jack Heed snared that clear from Edelhertz. And now they have swapped out their midfield to one that's more prone towards scoring. A common tactic in high school lacrosse here. Johnson up top. They're looking for Bethke in the crease. The pass sailed beyond Bethke's reach and goes over to the Crusaders. And we now reach that magic moment where we are 1 minute to go in the quarter, and so the clock will not reflect the time. It'll be kept on the field. Josh Matt bringing the ball up, looking for the feed on the give and go. Guevara again with that good move. And I believe that once again, Coach Goodman wants to make sure that inside amendment, he has offensive players who are all of the same mind with the same strategy as we go to the final minute of the second quarter. Both these teams dominated during the regular season. Eastside Catholic won their games by an average of 17 points this year. The Wolverines won theirs by an average of 14. While this season saw a lot of expansion in the high school lacrosse in the state of Washington, it wasn't particularly a season of parity as we had a lot of blowout games. Part of that has to do with dilution, but part of it has to do with just these squads getting so good. The Bellevue defense only allowed 6 goals per game, which was lowest in the league. Eastside Catholic's defenders were almost as stingy, allowing 7.5. Those leads to some high-scoring margins. And as this game winds on, maybe we'll see some more of that defense, although it's calmed down the offense a bit here in the second, or in the waning moments of the second quarter. 5-4 is a good game. Both these teams can light it up pretty quick, as we saw in the semifinals. Bellevue jumped out in the first quarter to a 10-1 lead over powerhouse Bainbridge Island, surprising everyone. Likewise, Eastside Catholic jumped out 4-0 over Issaquah and ended up holding them to a mere 6 goals. Eastside Catholic will start with possession. We'll see what they've cooked up. Coming out of the timeout last time, they were able to crank out a goal. Trail check from behind by Jack Albrecht. The ball goes to his younger brother, Joe, trying to get a fast break in before the clock expires. As he crosses midfield, Coach John Bellman decides to use one of his timeouts. Take advantage of that turnover and maybe get the equalizer right before the half expires. Winding down. We'll see how Eastside Catholic's defense comes out, see what they try and do to shut down that Wolverines offense. I'm sure the Wolverines have a play designed for one goal, one quick shot. Coming out of timeout, we've just been informed there's 17 seconds left in the half. There's plenty of time to run a play. Wolverines set. Fratt on the far sideline gives it to Bethke behind the cage. Guevara is riding him hard with that big long pole. Correction, that was not Bethke, that was McMahon. Bethke with the ball now, finds McMahon again. And the half expires. To no one's surprise, it's a close game. I didn't talk to anyone who thought that there would be a rout. Eastside Catholic 5, Bellevue 4. Stick around, folks. We're going to have a great second half. Second half of the 2016 Washington State High School Boys Division I Championship, featuring the East Side Catholic Crusaders and the Bellevue Wolverines. Crusaders hold a 5-4 lead. Unofficial tallies have Chase Boltez with 2 goals, and then singletons from Bryce Atwater, Eric Prologo, and Jack Secra. The Bellevue goals are from Matt Marino, and then a hat trick from Augie Fratt. 3 goals so far. At the face-off, we've got Andrew Cho dominating, winning 8 out of 11 so far.
My timing is excellent.
The Crusaders throw Parker Davidson in, trying to find a solution for Cho. He gets called for the hold right away, and the ball goes over to the Wolverines on the procedure call. We'll have to see which team made the better halftime adjustments. A nice snag out of mid-air. That was Justin Prukop in on defense. He's the one that snagged that ball, getting the turnover for the Wolverines. I'm sorry, scratch that, for the Crusaders. Secrew was up top with the ball, trying to draw the Wolverines out high. Crusaders are looking to stretch the field today to get those defenders out from packing the middle. They've been effective at that. That's opened up the crease for them. We're going to see here the new rule in high school, which is over and back. You'll see the ref right on the midfield line. Edel Hertz with the save. Bryce Atwater bats in the rebound for the circus goal. A little bit of a goat rodeo right there in front of the cage. And the Crusaders take advantage of it to open yet again another 2-point lead. Atwater with his second one of the night. As I was saying before, though, high school has changed their rules to match the college game, where if the offensive player throws the ball back across midfield, that's a turnover, and the ball goes to the defense. That was a close play there, but the refs were right on top of it, saying that the ball was not over the line. And that led to a Crusaders goal. Cho, frenetically, after the ball, over to his wingman, Joe Albrecht. Davidson's head mysteriously comes off. Typically that means we're missing a screw, not the same as playing with the screw loose, not to imply that. But it didn't look like the shaft snapped, it looked merely like the head came flying off. He's required by rule to leave the field immediately, not allowed to engage in the play, which he did, and saved Eastside Catholic a penalty there. Wolverines on the hard ride, Bethke up with the ball. As you can see, the Crusaders are doing a good job of blocking that passing lane. Once again, a pole letting get his number deflected, a pass preventing the ball to go to a dodging Augie Fratt. Albrecht up top to Fratt. They're looking for holds. They're trying to get that defense to over-rotate. It requires discipline. It's a shot there by Albrecht. Knocked down, and then Fratt with an athletic play to pluck it out of the air. Matt picks it up. Marino with the hard ride on the sideline. Knocks the ball out in front of the Crusaders bench. It goes to the Wolverines, and Marino runs back in. Crusaders recover enough, though, to set their defense and eliminate any shot into fast break. Guevara back behind the cage on Bethke. You guys can see as well as I am that Eastside Catholic is in their 3-3 zone now. So clearly that was a adjustment they made at halftime, liking the looks that they're getting in that zone. See if Bellevue can find a solution. You can see that the Crusaders are packed in much closer to the cage than they were in the first half when they're playing their man-to-man. Wolverines are looking for McMahon on the crease, Paul Johnson on the crease, somebody there in front in the hole in that zone. Bethke with the feed. Here's the outside shot by Fratt, but a save by Mr. Matt. Bellevue not riding the poles hard, giving the free clear essentially, opting instead to have the set defense. They got stung at least once on that. Crusaders with the shot wide right. However, they've got it backed up. Michael Moran on the defense there on Grasco. Back up top to Joey Matt. That'll hurts up with the ball and a fast clear to Jack Albrecht. No, I'm sorry, Michael Medzigian. Errant pass to Joe Albrecht doesn't do any harm to the Wolverines. They're getting their personnel in. As we wind down to 5 minutes and the Crusaders still working that 2-goal lead. Crusaders settle into their zone. Shot sails a little high from Marino. Wolverines got to figure out a way to beat both the zones and the night that Josh Matt is having. With a nice rip. Rebound out of Matt's stick, picked out of midair by Paul Johnson, who finds the back of the cage to pull the Wolverines within one at 6-5. Goalie's nightmare. He stops a hard rip from the outside, but it doesn't stay in the stick. Bounces out where it's grabbed out of midair. Bellevue sophomore Paul Johnson, of course, as many of you know, is the brother of Cole Johnson, who's now playing for the Army lacrosse team. Cole Johnson of note became this year the first player in Washington State history to be considered on the Tewaaraton Trophy watch list. As we see Andrew Cho come up with yet another face-off. The Tewaaraton Trophy is the Heisman Trophy equivalent for NCAA lacrosse. It's quite an honor and really shows where the sport of lacrosse has come in the state of Washington, where we've got players all over the country, many of whom are on the field many of the field tonight will play all over the country for different NCAA lacrosse teams. It's no longer a hotbed sport, fans. Most good teams are packed with players from all over this country, and Washington State contributes its fair share of those. We've got Bethke dodging behind the cage. He finds a cutting Jackson Fredman, who shoots again low, which gets gobbled up by Matt. He has been a monster on those low shots. Loose ball that's scooped up. Chase Overton on the defense. Ryan Grasco out high, dogged by Michael Moran, excuse me. Matt Marino working Peter Bogard. Up top to C Crew. Crusaders giving some midfielders a rest. Got some new faces in there, looking for some fresh legs. Pulling the Wolverines out, which was their game plan. Again, Adelhardt intercepts the pass across the crease. More of a goat rodeo back behind the cage. A little bit of a mugging, but Moran can hold his own. Ball still loose. Augie Fratt up with the loose ball, but the Wolverines have numbers. Let's see if they do anything with it as the Crusaders struggle to recover. However, they get back into that zone. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, 6-5, the Crusaders lead. They've got a pole now, back behind. As they move out of their zone, back to the man. Shot deflected by the Crusader pole. I couldn't see the number, but the Wolverines retain the ball. Fratt up top to Fredman. Guevara riding Bethke hard. Finds Augie Fratt, underhanded shot. Matt out close, out deep. Bethke now. Unclear what that call was other than procedure, perhaps playing without equipment. I'm not sure if there was a glove on the ground. We're now inside a minute. Chase Boltez with the ball as he runs off, having delivered it in to James Way. Crusaders will certainly play for the last shot. Jack Albrecht would like to have something to do with that for the Wolverines as he harasses James. See Crew up top. Ridden hard by Joe Albrecht. The slide comes over, but Albrecht hits the trail check. It's a fast break as we're running out of time in this third quarter. Jack Albrecht, no, Medzigian across midfield into the box. but the time expires before Bellevue can get a shot off, and the teams trade goals in the third quarter. No one able to get much offense underway there. 6-5 Eastside Catholic as we move to the final stanza.
Barry, I coach lacrosse at Bellevue High School as well as football. We've had Seattle Sports Video with us for about 2 years now, and it's one of the best choices we made. High quality video, the game tape goes up the same night within a matter of an hour or two. It's all over the place. We need an adjustment to the film, gets done right away. Best decision we made.
John Bauman, head coach, Bellevue High School. Been a head coach for about 10 years now. We're extremely happy with you guys. Great film, gets up on our site real quick. Everything's great. You're the man.
Hi, my name's Steve DiPietro, and I represented the Blanchette Braves this past year and the year before, working with Marcio to film all of the varsity girls basketball games. My experience with him was fabulous. He was reliable, he communicates well, he's a great guy, he understands the games and what you're trying to accomplish in capturing not only the moment but the experience for the kids.
I'm so happy to have found you. I've worked with other people on videos before, but the way that you are able to figure out, and I don't think I articulate what I want very well, to figure out exactly what I'm looking for, and where I don't know what I'm looking for, help me figure out what I'm looking for, has been great.
I'm good. How are you? I'm back. Down to this, we're now entering the fourth quarter of the 2016 Washington State Boys Division I Championship lacrosse game. Eastside Catholic Crusaders have a 1-goal, 6-5 lead in what has proven to be a defensive matchup. Davidson out there with a long pole on the face-off, trying to end Andrew Cho's dominance on these face-offs. Ball's loose. We'll have to see who comes up with it. Back to a scrum out there, and the Crusaders get possession, but the Wolverines thwart any attempt at a fast break. Bryce Atwater up top finds an open man underneath who bounces it wide of the cage. Slash call on the Wolverines. Eastside Catholic goes man up again. They've scored on one of their 2 previous man up opportunities. Wolverines ride the hands hard, unable to get them free. The ball goes over to the Wolverines. Edelhertz gets it to Joe Albrecht. He's just going to hoof it across midfield. Joe Matt is stuck on him like glue, but he makes it across the restraining line and finds Bethke, once again hounded by the long pole, Parker Davidson. Johnson back behind the goal. He of the recent rebound score for the Wolverines to pull them within one. Crusaders like how that zone's working for them, limiting the powerful Wolverine offense to 1 goal in the third quarter, so they've stuck in that zone. The Wolverines are going to have to figure that out. Guevara is all over Bethke's hands as he limps a pass over, but the Wolverines do hang on to the ball. Jammed in the passing lanes again. Sloppy Wolverine play and some fast footwork by Sekru. Finds a little bit of a fast break, but they wisely slow it down as they don't have their fast break personnel on the field. Crusaders are swapping it out. Crusaders are happy to use up time on the clock. Chase Bultez with the ball, dumps it inside. Albrecht on the defense there, prevents any type of shot. High school lacrosse does have a stall warning, but typically the refs are reluctant to put it on. Bultez with the shot, gobbled up by Cave Edelhertz, who starts a fast break to Medzigian. And Paul Johnson finds Joe Bethke on the crease, who dumps the equalizer. Nothing Josh Mack can do about that as they have him moving back and forth across the cage. That precise ball movement is one of the things a senior offense is known for from the Wolverines. Bethke very sure-handed, just quick-sticked it after receiving the pass from Paul Johnson. And just like that, we are tied. Davidson out again for the for the face-off with his long pole. Coach Goodman likes what that brings to the table. Even if you don't win the immediate face here, it gives you another pole trying to get the ground ball. Or here, holding back Cho. Perfectly legal, but the long stick gives you some extra leverage there, as you see now. Cho up with the ground ball and the face-off win. But Parker Davidson is immediately able to apply some long pole defense and prevent Cho from doing anything or even getting a sniff of the cage. Fredman on the near sideline here. Bellevue seemingly frustrated with the zone. Tom Heed on the crease for the Wolverines. Trying to find a way to get open, but they're packed in there. Passing lane's not available. Guevara back behind, chasing Bethke a bit, but now he settles back up into the zone. Bethke with a shot on the curl at the question mark. But again, at Matt's feet. He's great on the low shots, and Bellevue continues to give them to him there. Their hard ride starts a fast break. Come on, boy, we've got a penalty coming up. A high hit as Josh Matt comes out to eliminate the fast break. That's going to bring in the school lacrosse, the goalies have to serve their own penalties. John Bauman upset naturally. The player is still down. Refs getting together to get the call right. We don't know what's going to be. Certainly there's an emphasis in high school lacrosse and youth lacrosse for safety. The high hits have been all but eliminated from the rule book. Certainly that wasn't intentional. You can't call it headhunting, but the rules don't make a difference between intentional and unintentional, which is something I'm sure Coach Bauman is explaining to the referees. I'm sure they are very appreciative of his help. Goalie Matt was in a tough position. It was clear he was going to be exposed one-on-one as there was no Crusader defender who had come back. Your options as a goalie there are limited. Matt came out to blow up the player, who's now sitting up. We can't get a number quite yet. Bellevue player down is number 3, Tom Heed. We are happy to see him up and about. The penalty called will be a 2-minute non-releasable penalty against the goalie. He'll have to serve that himself. Non-releasable means the full term of the penalty will be served. Very often in lacrosse, once you score a goal, the penalty is released. In this case, because of the severity of the hit, the rules require a minimum of 2 minutes on any shot to the head. And the ref's discretion is making it non-releasable depending on their feelings on how severe the hit was. Bellevue will try and take advantage of this play. Obviously, we've got a goaltender coming in who is not warmed up. The rules do allow for him to, I believe, don't quote me on this, have a 1-minute warm-up. You can probably hear the Bellevue fans naturally are a little upset after what they consider. In at goal is Ethan Schriever. He'll have a tall order coming in cold, but he's a senior goalkeeper. He knows what to do. He comes from a long line. His brother Colin is a freshman down at Chapman University who just won the MCLA National Championship, college club lacrosse. Shrievers are one of those lacrosse families that help make a program great, working very hard for years, both with players and volunteers. We'll see how Ethan holds up under the pressure of being man down with no warm-up. See if Bellevue can take advantage to get a goal. I'm sure they're not going to be happy with a goal. There's one. Joe Bethke feeds to Augie Fratt. Fratt with his 4th goal. A man-down goal. It's going to be up to the Crusader offense here. I'm sorry, the Crusader defense here. They're going to have to step up and prevent Bellevue from getting their shots off. unrealistic to expect Shriver to come in and be at his top without a warm-up. He's been cold standing on the sidelines. Davidson and Cho again on the face-off. Bellevue are going to look to make hay while this penalty is there. Cho flips it off to Matt Marino, finds the first fast break, and remember, they are still man up. Paul Johnson decides that we're going to wait to get their personnel in. A methodical approach to this shot since the Wolverines are still man up. Or not. Augie Fratt sends one that Shriver gobbles up. That's got to give him some confidence as there's a scuffle behind the cage. Shriver looking to pick up a penalty. That would be a problem. Timeout call will settle down this goat rodeo a little bit. Wolverine screaming on the head hunting behind the cage, but really there wasn't much to it. Shriver took a shot as Besky. Still in a timeout. Coach Goodman with a very good timeout call there. Probably settling his team down. I would imagine explaining to his backup goalie Shriver that they need him in the game and that he can best serve by staying in there and doesn't need to test the referee's resolve in not throwing a flag. 5 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the game. The Wolverines are up by 1. Quite sure. It sounded like we said 31 seconds remaining in the penalty. I'm sure the Crusaders are going to try and kill it. You'll see that the Wolverines double team the ball because they have an extra man. The ball comes loose, but there's no possession yet. It'll be a big deal if the Crusaders can pick this up. The Wolverines, however, find Bethke on the sweep. Bethke now guarded hard by Davidson, who's not going to let him go to the near the cage. Bellevue calls timeout as they want to set up one more man-up play. They have not only the advantage on numbers, but they've got the hot goalie, Josh Matt, out of the game, and they want to take advantage of that as he's been a difference maker in the game so far. We talked a little bit about it, but with backup goalie Ethan Shriver being a brother here, but both these teams are really bands of brothers, literally, both from this year's squad and years past. Bellevue starts a pair of brothers, Joe and Jack Albrecht at the midfield, and they start Tom and Jack Heed as well. Tom was the player that was hitting the head there. They see lots of minutes. Joe Bethke has a brother Hank, who's an attackman at NCAA D1 powerhouse Ohio State. Paul Johnson, we already mentioned, have a brother Cole at Army. Also, Eastside Catholic have the Matt brothers, Joss and Joey, in goal and face-off. Brennan Kronk, who's been in the game, has an older brother Cameron, who's a goalie at New Jersey Institute of Technology, a Division I lacrosse squad back in New Jersey. And like we said, current goalie Ethan Shriver's brother plays for Chapman University, the national champions of club lacrosse this year. It truly is a family sport, and the brothers make it work here. 38 seconds remain on the penalty. I got the last time wrong. Sorry about that. A little loud here with the crowd noise. Unable to hear the stadium announcer. 38 seconds as the ball's behind the cage to Paul Johnson, who feeds to Bethke. Wolverines are probably going to try and feed another dunk shot there. If the Eastside Catholic collapses, they'll rip from the outside. Frat dodges into the middle, trying to get open. Cameron McMahon here is blown up by Guevara, though. He comes out, but the ball out of his stick. Picked up by the Crusaders, can't see who. Cameron McMahon up with the ball for the Wolverines. The other problem with the goalie penalty is even when the penalty expires, it's difficult to swap your goalie out. However, they are now even, so they're able to bring the other defender in. So while they're even, Josh Matt sits on the sideline waiting for a time that he can come in and replace Shriver. Frat up top. Wolverines now play the ones who are in no hurry to shoot. And there's a lob pass in over the head. Shriver picks it up. Finds Guevara on the quick clear. There's a hard ride put on by Paul Johnson. But the Crusaders get it across midfield, and now they have a man advantage as the Wolverine falls down. But they're also caught with the wrong personnel, and they'll slow down as well. Ethan Shriver runs off with a job well done. Josh Matt back in goal now for the Crusaders. Crusaders dump the ball down low, but it's mishandled. Now they'll have to go back up top. Joey Matt at the top of the key. Passing off to Chase Bultez, who takes a shot. Edelhurst scoops it up. Dangerous pass back from Overton. However, Bellevue clears the ball. Legs are getting tired. It's crunch time for both teams. We're not seeing the fast speed break or the hard rides that we saw early in the game. Augie Fratt waiting for Fredman to come in. He gets the ball as we're at 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and the Wolverines up by 1. Ball comes around to Matt Marino. Seems likely that you won't see the Wolverines shoot unless it's a great shot. They're not going to try and force anything and risk a turnover, a save from a hot goalie. Jumped hard there. Now we're inside 2 minutes. With the lead, Bellevue's required now to keep the ball in the box. The restraining box that you see there. If they step outside, it's a turnover, goes to the Crusaders. It's a rule put in place to prevent the offense with the lead from simply running out the clock. They can still run out the clock, but they have to stay in the box to do it, making it harder because the defense doesn't have to cover as big of an area. You see Marino, though, slip dodge there. 1.5 minutes to go. He's chased now by Morgan. Morgan with the long stick trying to get the ball off of Marino. Marino's dead set and makes the errant pass outside the box. That's exactly what the Crusaders were after. That's why you put that pressure on. 1 minute to go. Josh Matt leads the fast break. They've swapped personnel out. A wild pass there that was snared by the Crusaders on a good play. You got to figure that Coach Goodman will take a timeout, and there it is. Last timeout on the half for the Crusaders. They'll set something up looking for the equalizer. You seen it tonight. Both these teams have defensives that make you pay for shooting on goal or even crossing in the middle of it. Eastside Catholic's defense is the big, bruising, very experienced one. Bellevue, here in the last minute, their long poles make their living on not letting those shooters' hands get free. And they're generally successful at frustrating people, taking the ball away with their stick skills. It's not the big, huge bruising defense, but it's definitely one that's been effective for them with the league leading 6 goals a game average. Eastside Catholic is right on that average tonight, having scored 6 goals. But only 1 here in the second half. Certainly a lot riding on sophomore goalkeeper Kay Bettelhertz. But he's got some seniors in front of him, and their job will be to make sure that the Crusaders are forced to take a bad shot if they can get any shot off at all. 55 seconds remain in the game. Jack Heed out on defense on the top for the Wolverines. Jack Albrecht on the far side. They've successfully stretched the Wolverine defense out high. They're working hard to get somebody inside on the crease. The Wolverines are working hard not to make that happen. We'll have to see a spin move, a shot knocked down. Senior All-American Jack Albrecht with the shot. We've got a call. I think a push on Eastside Catholic. Wolverine ball. The ref, Avery Harkins, clears the defenders away. Joe Albrecht trying to get the ball into the box. Timeout called. Timeout called by John Bauman. 7-6. I couldn't hear. 7-6. The Wolverines lead with the ball inside a minute. Bauman sure drawing up a play that has nothing to do with shooting, but only running the clock out. You got to believe that the Crusaders are going to have to pull their goalie to play defense. In lacrosse, you have to have a goalie on the field, but he doesn't have to stand in the goal. Look for Josh Matt to come out and play defense, trying to force a turnover, leaving the net empty. There's 18 seconds left in the game. 18 seconds. 18 seconds left in the game is all. So you got to believe that it's one last stand for the Crusaders. Coach Goodman will try his best to draw up a defense that'll cause a turnover, but Bauman's only going to have his experienced ball handlers on the field. There's no need to take a shot, I suspect, is what Bauman's telling him. You'll often find in this situation where the goalkeeper's playing defense, even though the net is empty, the team with the ball and the lead won't shoot on it. Here we go. Augie Fratt with the ball on the far side. You can see right away he's double teamed. The only way they can double team him is by pulling the goalkeeper out, who's over here on the near sideline guarding Joe Bethke. Augie Fratt with 18 seconds to burn is getting mauled, as you would expect. He has an open net, but not going anywhere near it. He's just going to run the clock out, hopefully, for the Wolverines, and the Crusaders are hopeful that they will get a turnover here as Parker Davidson slaps the stick, but that's the game. As the fans rush the field. It's a great game by both teams. Unbelievable, one of the best championship games that we've seen in recent memory. Certainly a heartbreak for the Crusaders. Neither team needs to hang their heads here. Eastside Catholic with one of the guttier performances. Ethan Schriever coming in and standing on his head for his 2-minute period, keeping the lead from going even larger than it could. You can make an argument that the turning point of the play was the penalty called on starting goalkeeper Josh Matt, but in reality, he was going to give up a goal probably on that fast break and ended up just giving up one on the man up, so you can't argue that it cost them anything in particular. Congratulations to Bellevue. They now win their 4th out of the last 5 years, their 12th in recent memory. And Coach John Bauman is to be congratulated for his victory. Came to the school in 2005 and turned the program around. They were considering dropping down to Division II in 2005 after a tough year. But 5 years later, Bauman has them winning a state championship in 2010. And again in 12, 13, and 14. Last year they lost a game, another great game here at Starfire Complex against Mercer Island. And then has them back in the winner's circle today. Eastside Catholic tops off a very successful season. And I'm sure as Coach Goodman gets his evaluation of the season done, he would tell you that this was probably a reasonable level of performance that he got out of this squad, given that it was his first year as the head coach. Great thing about lacrosse is you see a lot of handshakes going on between the two teams. These guys will strap up and play with each other in the summer months. Many of them go on to local colleges where they'll play club lacrosse as teammates. Certainly we've got a lot of folks going to the UW where hopefully they'll play in that club program. And both of these teams are loaded for next year, so it wouldn't be a surprise at all to have a repeat of this game. We're here live from Starfire Sports Complex. Thank you. Seattle Sports Videos, Marcio Castro and the boys. I'm Patrick Boyd.